Throw Down. My name's Sarah. I'm the owner of Maid Ceramic Art Studio and maker behind Gem City Ceramics. And I'm joined by two potters I definitely look up to in many different ways.
Jeez, okay, I'm Carmen. I'm approaching my 10-year birthday with clay. And I did hand building since forever, and I was always really scared of the wheel. So I've only been doing wheel for maybe about 7 years. So it took a couple years to finally get brave enough to come throw on the wheel. And I fell in love with it, so now I teach things at this little studio I opened outside the box, art studio in Bellbrook. And I do adult stuff and kid things and just like anybody who wants to get muddy with me.
Hi, I'm Jess. I've been doing pottery for about like 4 years, not too long. I mostly have a two-dimensional background, and I've done a lot of hand building over the years, but the wheel's been following me. So I make a lot of functional wear, and I do that under Muddstud.
Well, today we're going to be learning how to throw tall, and then I'm going to challenge you two to see who can throw taller. We get asked this a lot in our studio. Like, when we're first getting started, we make a lot of poles. It's very common because we're working with a machine that's going around in a circle, the clay wants to go out. And so we're going to be kind of covering how to throw up. So let's get started. So we're starting with a pre-centered piece of clay. We're kind of cheating here. I know this is pretty difficult as well, but we have this clay nice and centered into our wheel. We're working with 3 pounds of clay here. And what I'm going to do is open this guy up, pull it out. And because I'm trying to get a tall vessel, I am not going to open this very wide. Start my first pull. This first and arguably second pull is the most important whenever it comes to throwing tall, because this is establishing the direction that the clay is going. So instead of, whenever I'm teaching, I'm always saying we want to be really steady and move up our wall, I'm actually going to be moving towards the center. So I'm on the right side here and we'll be pulling this way. It's almost as if I'm trying to create like a cone or a volcano. And it looks really dramatic during the first few pulls, but you'll see how it straightens up real nicely. So still pulling that cone. So it looks like a volcano, right? Gotta really make sure that I get all the clay I can from the bottom. I refer to this as a launch pad because that's what who I learned from calls it, a launch pad. So I'm just running my finger. I've got that sponge in between just to soften it up right along that bottom. And I'm creating this area where I now have all this clay can travel up my wall instead of being stuck on my bat here. Because we can trim it away later, but whenever we're trying to throw tall, we want to use all the clay we can. It's kind of wasteful if we don't, because it's already hard to do it, so don't add more pounds in the mix and making it harder for yourself. Okay, so now, whenever for my next pull, I'm going to be starting below this launch pad area. Because this is a challenge, I am going to collar this up a bit so I can get a little bit of height. This is not a skill that I want anyone to lean on, but it does help kind of tuck things in a bit if we start to be going a little too wide. So I'm using both hands and trying to, I'm essentially getting 4 points of contact on the clay here. And I am moving up that really shrunk things in and I got a bit of height there. Creating that launch pad again. Got an air bubble in here, did not wedge it well enough. We're gonna work through that. All right, it's getting pretty tall now. I think I might do one more pull, just. Collar that bottom in again. Let's see how tall this guy is. Exactly 8.5. All right, 8.5 is what we're aiming to beat here. You got it, Carmen.
Sure.
Let's see it. Let's see it. I should have put a time crunch on this.
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah, you leave me forever. I always love seeing how different potters throw.
Oh, God, I know. Because it's such a tactile craft and it's so individualized, it's so good to go look and learn, take different classes with different instructors.
Absolutely.
I mean, there's just so many different ways of doing each step. It's
Watch
It's-
as many videos as possible.
real, yeah.
Everyone will say to do something different.
I would say it's the magical and frustrating thing about clay.
Yeah.
Launchpad, I forgot you called it. That's I love that.
I've never heard that term before. I was
love
feeling
that.
it.
That's
Launchpad.
what Stephanie taught me. And that's,
Really?
That's what I call it.
How about that?
So you guys pull with sponges then too?
When it's big stuff.
Yeah.
When it's big things.
I like my first couple pulls with the sponge, and then after that, I try to get away from it.
Gosh, I was just at a little event at the park where we were doing who can throw the tallest on Friday.
Yeah. Did you do it?
I got to 7 inches and then the entire top came off. And well, the cool thing was we were actually throwing standing up. So we were trying like 2 things at once.
That's
And
a whole different thing.
It is, it's totally different. Again, like so many different ways of doing it, right? All right, what clay is this? Is this our speckle? What are we
This
doing?
is speckled.
Oh, I love a good love speckle. Is that your standard now?
This is reclaim. So it's
Oh,
it's
I
those
love it
ones
even
speckled.
more.
This is reclaim.
Yeah.
This feels great. Talk about wet, not wedging. This is great.
We primarily throw with 306. The clay that we're using right now has something called grab in it. This allows things to have a little bit more, I don't know how to describe this. It's like, it's stickier. It has a little bit more strength to it. You can boss it around. And it's great whenever we're learning how to do something like throwing tall, to work with a clay like this as opposed to something that resembles, say, porcelain, where it just wants to like fall right over.
She's got a big old skirt on her. So I love Launchpad and I call it skirt.
I do call it skirt as
It's got like a
well.
little skirt.
I call it skirt, so Launchpad is getting rid of skirt.
I will strive to find a name for this now. Like for me, it's always just like this little nook right here.
Yeah.
Like that.
Like put this little divot in this nook. I can feel myself making ugly faces.
It's not about, it's about tall.
It doesn't need to be symmetrical. It just needs to be tall.
Alright, she's just about that. Alright, I'm gonna try your the coning technique that you did. Yeah, coloring. When I've got the young kids, because I teach a all the hip, cool teenagers, right? And I'm like, okay, do the Illuminati sign. And we'll just put it around the thing. You gotta relate to the kids, right? Because there are other jokes you can make that you can't make in front of the kids. Alright, she's wonky, but I think she's about at her last little leg. Look at that.
I should do a mirror.
Let's see where it's at.
I'll pretty her up maybe, because I don't want to get that little wonk. I'll get the wonkiness off of her. But I'm
Here's
all
some.
about the wonk, you know that.
We're at like 7.5.
Alright, yeah, I got after 7.5 and she fell last time, so we done.
No, we gotta keep going. Let's see how tall you can get.
Oh, okay, alright. I'm gonna go back to my launch pad and see how wonky we're gonna go.
Now, are you a thin thrower or a thick thrower?
I'm a sturdy thrower.
Yeah.
I feel like I've noticed that in your work. I'm a thin thrower, and I've tried. For certain things, it's better to throw thick,
Yeah.
and I struggle.
I like mugs that keep heat.
Yeah.
I like things I trust in the dishwasher.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I like feeling a little bit of girth in my hands. And I used to be really nervous about that, hated it, until I made the plates for Jollity. And then some guests would be like, man, I like the girth of these plates. You made these plates. And I'd be like, me. And then I got over it. Like, okay, thick is okay. It's okay.
Shout out, if you go to Jollity, you're eating off of a Muddstud plate.
This is really pushing it for me. Like, this is thinner than what I like to.
Let's measure it. It's also a fun shape.
Yeah. We're vibing. I'm right under 8.
Nice.
Well, that makes me want to go further.
Yeah, you got it. I want to be
Not
beat.
enough.
I'm done. I'm breaking my own rule.
You're 8.25.
I'm like,
I
I
bet
always
one more
tell
pull
people.
could get it.
Okay. I always tell people, leave it alone.
Yeah.
Leave it alone.
Pencils down.
Pencils down moment. Because I always have the most crud moments when it's nice and thinned out. I'm like, now I'm gonna shape it, play with it, and then it just dies on you. But let's try to kill it. Let's try. Give it a smash. Don't die on me.
Right?
Don't you give up on me yet.
You're wonky, but you're beautiful. Stand tall, buddy.
We're not
You
quitters.
can do it. Okay, she's done. We'll just clean her little edges up a little bit.
Should we measure from the lowest part of the top or the tallest?
Oh, the lowest. Come on. I won't decapitate her, but we'll take it at the lowest spot. I love the wonkiness.
Where are we at?
A little smidge under 8.5.
It's beautiful.
Yeah,
it's a cool
I love
shape.
the shape a lot.
It's like a big
Chalice.
goblet. Or
Yeah.
Yep, right under 8.5. I'm
Hey!
close to you.
And that's how we throw tall.